So Juan, you came out. I see you training at Jackson Wink now. Is that where you mainly reside, or do you stay? I know you're originally from the Houston MMA scene. I've known you from Paradigm from a long time ago. Is that where you stay training at, or do you kind of go back and forth, or do you stay more so training over there with Jackson?
Wrong mic.
No, you're okay.
I only train at Jackson Wink now.
Okay.
I live there. I've got a studio apartment in the gym, and I work out there full time. I actually only came out here. I came out here last week for my great grandma's funeral, and then drove back for work, and then they hit me up and asked if I would be willing to do this, and I said, yeah, sure, why not?
Why not? Awesome, man. Well, man, it's awesome to see you here. So, with these, do you kind of have the same kind of? I know your style kind of caters to these submission grappling events, anyways. From the MMA scene. Do you kind of have the same game plan? Do you really train much differently at all? Do you do any of a bit of a weight? Well, you see super heavyweight, so you don't really have to do much of a weight cut or anything, right?
And I specifically didn't want to cut weight for this one. It doesn't really. My last fight was bare knuckle boxing, so I hadn't really been grappling in a long time.
Okay.
But I wrestled collegiately, so when I came out here, my submission game really complements my wrestling. I've kind of catered around it. I've learned jiu-jitsu around certain things, and that's just kind of how I operate. So my game plan is different because in MMA I want to strike to set up my takedowns.
Right.
But out here it's just, okay, I have a takedown series. I have a series to do if I get taken down to escape and go back. But even when I wrestled, ground parterre was kind of my specialty. Especially in collegiate wrestling, my top and bottom game was really strong.
So you're definitely not pulling guard.
Yeah.
No guard pulling on this side.
Yeah, no guard pulling. I don't like pulling guard. Definitely not.
Good. Love to hear it, man. So, well, that's awesome to hear it, man. So, I haven't had the chance to really talk with somebody who trains over there at Jackson Wink. For the viewers out there, it's a legendary name. What's it like training in there? I see the guys at we both attend peak fighting events, so they're pretty heavily there. But what's it like training in an environment like that?
It's truly an environment like no other. There's no real hobbyist at Jackson Wink. That's for serious fighters. It's where you go to test yourself, to really see how far you can take it. And you're surrounded by like-minded individuals that have been where you want to go or are all trying to get to the same area. So it's that mentality of, iron sharpens iron. You're in there, you're going, you're grinding, and everyone there is training for the same thing. No matter what your style is, we're an MMA gym. We do everything, every class we do, it's made to go and translate into MMA. So it's all one system, and you don't have the thing there where, one coach is teaching you one thing, another coach is teaching you one thing. All the coaches there are working together for the same goal, for the same system. And they try to utilize your strengths and utilize what they know to better help you be the best MMA fighter you can be.
That's awesome. Yeah, love to hear it, man. It's definitely a much different scene than what a lot of us are used to with the usual gym we all go to.
How big is the heavyweight room over there? I mean, obviously you guys have a bunch of different fighters.
I think right now we have between 5 and 7 heavyweights.
So you got to get a good amount of work partners too.
Nice.
Yeah.
You got anything coming up, fights?
I was supposed to fight Robelis Despain and that on the Fury card back in December, and then they switched it and told me I could fight him in January, but he got signed to the UFC.
Right.
So that's when I went to do the bare knuckle thing, and I'm a free agent right now. I've talked to Fury. They said they're gonna look for something this summer. I've talked to these guys as well, and I know they have a card in August that I said I would fight on if I couldn't get anything otherwise. But I'm just trying to fight 2 or 3 times this summer.
It doesn't matter what, right?
Yeah,
Bare
it
knuckle,
doesn't matter
MMA.
when, anything. I love combat. That's why I agreed to do this.
Right,
Any
yeah.
form of combat sport I'm willing to do and test myself.
How's the bare knuckle training compared to like MMA training? Obviously, are you training with gloves on? Like I'm sure you guys with lighter mats, maybe the 4 ounces, maybe. Are you guys using boxing gloves?
No, I always train with my training partners won't let me use less than a 16-ounce glove with them. So we're in there, and I just went to a pure boxing gym and started doing that, and I was working clinch work because they allow that in bare knuckle.
Okay.
But the training for that is just so even though I train differently more for a boxing style thing, those 2-minute rounds and it's just all go the whole time. It's like a full-on sprint. So it was very different. It was and then getting hit with a bare knuckle, everyone's worried about that at first. There was so much adrenaline.
Right,
like,
yeah.
I didn't really feel it till after the fight.
Right.
Exactly.
There were a couple times he hit me with all he had, and I was just like, oh, all right, well, I'm not going to keep my hands up now. Like,
Yeah.
I know I can survive it. I'm good. So my coach was not happy about that, but, it's definitely different. It's a different type of competition. Like, when I fight MMA, I'm thinking about, my game plan if it goes a million different ways because everything's on the table. And bare knuckle, I was just like, no matter what happens, I'm going to bite down. I'm going to throw back. I'm not going down. I'm going to keep moving forward.
Right.
And that was it. If I try that in MMA, like somebody's putting me in the hospital with a torn leg or something, so can't really do that.
Well, that's awesome, man. We're really happy to have you. Happy to have you again at any of our other future shows. Before you go, is there any plugs, any shout-outs you want to give, anybody you want to thank?
Yeah, I would just like to thank Jackson Wink, of course. Obviously, Wendy for promoting the event, Submission Quest as well for having me out here. And biggest shout-out I can do or biggest plug is really just for me, guys. I got a YouTube channel. Go follow it. It's Cracking Cares. And any promoters out there, I'm a free agent. I'm trying to fight. Contact my manager, and we'll get something worked out. You can contact me directly, too, and then I'll just forward you over to him. But
Awesome,
I'm trying to be active.
Yeah, we love to hear it. We love to see you some more, man. Thanks for coming.
For sure, man. Thank you.